What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another post-match fan show. We get to speak about 3 points today. Samosas all round for everyone. But how did you make out the game, Tim, today? What did you make out of the game?
I was happy. I was happy with the performance. Oh, that's a bit weird. But I was happy with the performance. I was happy with how we conducted ourselves in the game. In terms of, before the game, I was saying that the only way we win this game is if we show the fight and desire to get that Europa League spot that we want. We don't want to be playing Europa League conference football. We don't want to be playing without European football, ideally, I think, anyway.
Just listen to ourselves. How far have we fallen?
Look, we have fallen very far, but I said if the only way we win this game is if we are completely on top of it and we attack it and we show desire to win the game. We don't let it drift by. And I think we did that. I think everyone was pulling in the same direction. I don't know if Wolves were willing participants in the game, but I think you got to say we deserved the win. I think we had 13 shots on target, which is most we've had all season. Kane, Son, Bale, and Dele all link up really, really well. Lo Celso, Højbjerg and Dele as well, working really well as the three in terms of their pressing and winning the ball back. So, look, I think we couldn't do any more than we did today. We got the job was ahead of us, and we got it done pretty easily.
Yeah, all right, I completely agree. And now let's start getting some guests on. As always, first up, Grandpa Brian. Let's see what crosses and ticks he has by what names today. Grandpa, how you doing?
I can't hear him.
Hello?
One sec. So I think he's on mute. One sec, Grandpa. Oh, I can hear. No, I can hear myself. One sec. Trying to get him on. One sec. Trying to sort out the audio here. One sec, Grandpa. Hopefully with you in a sec. Hey, say something, Grandpa? No, I can't hear him. I can hear myself. I can hear the echo. Hi, Grandpa? Nope, can't hear him. Hello, Grandpa? Nope. One sec. Trying to sort this out in the back end. Is it definitely up?
This was on low.
It's not that. I can hear myself.
It must be.
Now it's too loud. All right, we'll try and get him back on in a sec. Unfortunately, we're just having a few technical issues with the audio. But I was happy with today's performance. Obviously, it's a bit too little, too late in terms of the context of the season. We're not going to get. We're not going to be getting Champions League football, despite Liverpool at the moment losing 1-0 to West Brom. I don't think it'll make too much of a difference to us because Chelsea only need one more point and Liverpool are still above us anyway, even with a defeat today. So don't think it'll make too much of a difference. But I do think it's important to get continue our record of finishing in the top six. We have finished in the top six ever since 2009, 2010, sorry. So I think that is important to keep that run going, and it's important to play European football and be in Europa League. And I know it's not a great situation compared to where we were 2 years ago, but you got to take the small wins, I guess. And it's not a great situation, but we've got to try our best to have something to fight for. And I think the players today did have something to fight for. And I think they showed that on the pitch. And especially Højbjerg seemed like a man on a mission to get Europa League football. So I was happy with that. We're just trying to get it sorted in the back end. But in terms of who the standout performers were today, definitely Højbjerg was one. Dele Alli for sure was one. I thought he played really well today. And I thought, nutmegging players, winning tackles. And I was very happy with Dele's performance. I thought a lot stronger than his performance against Leeds, despite the fact he also got a good assist against Leeds. He got a nearly assist for Kane, who, if it wasn't for Patricio, would have got a second goal when he tipped onto the post. I thought it was a really good piece of play from Dele Alli. And, I thought throughout the game, he was a nuisance. I thought Bale was running Semedo ragged on the right-hand side. I thought Kane was dropping to all areas of space in and around the penalty area, and he hit the post with a nice effort. That was close. And I thought Lo Celso started the game really well, although he did drift a bit as the game went on. I thought he did start with a really strong performance. And then the defence was keeping the Wolves' forward line quiet. I thought Dyer and Toby gave Fabio Silva no spare change. Adama Traore obviously gave our team some trouble, but we dealt with him, I thought, fairly well once he got into the final third. And Gibbs White, I felt, didn't really have so much an impact. I thought Tanganga had a really solid game and wasn't really.
All right, Sim, we're going to send Grandpa through.
I was.
Grandpa's mic.
Was-
Yeah, it must be. Yeah.
We're sending Grandpa through. Can Grandpa speak? Are you sure?
Yeah, no, it's his mic.
Grandpa's mic isn't working.
Grandpa, if you can hear me, if you can try and unmute, if you know how to unmute. I think.
Not muted.
Oh.
His mic's not working.
Apparently your mic might not be working, Grandpa. So maybe unplug your mic and just use the computer audio potentially. All right. We're gonna get the Yid Kid in for starters. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. And you guys?
Yeah, look, I think it was a good performance, attacking performance, and we came away with 3 points. We're now above West Ham in 6th place. Is it important we have a good end to the season for you?
It is important, always, even if there's nothing more to play for. Look, obviously, we have chance for Europa League spots. With Liverpool dropping points right now, with West Brom leading, I think they're leading 1-0. We could still get that 5th spot, and that means we don't have to play all those playoff games to get into Europa League. And we don't have to deal with all those flights to European places that I didn't even know existed before, and play those unnoticed teams. So it's important still, but we should have had a way better season.
Definitely, and I think it's definitely a big disappointment now, obviously looking back to where we were, back in December time when we were top of the league. But so is these kind of performances a bit too little too late for you in that aspect?
Yeah, way too little too late. This passing that we're doing now, one-touch passing, should have been doing it when we had 10 minutes left in each game, and we keep bottling the game. So we could have been top of the league, man. It really hurts me to say that, but it's true. It's too late. But hopefully we can take these performances on to next season.
On the positives of today, who would you give man of the match to?
For me, it was between Tanganga and Højbjerg. Obviously,
Really?
Højbjerg got the assist and the goal, but Tanganga had played fantastic too. He almost ended up getting a goal, I remember, from where he headed it. And he had a few fantastic blocks. So for me, it has to go to Højbjerg since he scored a goal and he got the assist. But it's close between them.
If Chelsea lose this week, and let's say Liverpool, for argument's sake, end up losing today, is it back on?
Top 4.
I'm gonna take your answer from that response.
We've said that so many times this season, and then we've got disappointed so many times. Is it on? Is it on? Once we say, is it on? And then it's off.
So let's keep it to being off. Yeah, I completely agree. But look,
We never win when it's on. That's
Exactly. Let's just keep it off for the whole of next season as well,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
we only seem to get results when the pressure is completely off, and that's exactly what we done today. But you looking forward to these Villa and Leicester games?
The only reason I'm looking forward to the Villa game is for the protests. Literally, I'm not even going to watch the football. I'm going to be watching Levy when they put the camera on him the whole game. That's the only thing I'm going to be paying attention to.
What did you make out of the protest, the images from the protest yesterday? Did you see any of it? Hello?
Oh, is he gone? He's gone.
All right, he's gone.
He's gone. We've got to get him off. All right. Cheers, Yid Kid.
Thank you very
Thanks
much
for coming on, mate.
All right, is Grandpa's mic working yet?
Can you ask him to speak?
Can you hear him?
Grandpa, they can't seem to hear you in the back end. I'm not sure what's going on with your microphone. But let's get on Brian.
We'll get on Brian, the other Brian.
Brian Daigle.
How are we doing, boys?
All good, my friend. How are you?
Better after that performance.
Yeah, I was saying, have you calmed down a bit now?
Yeah, I've calmed down. Probably until Wednesday, and then we'll see it elevated again. But yeah, it's a professional performance. We got the job done,
Yeah. Who stood out for you today?
mate. pretty much word for word everything the kid said.
Yeah.
Højbjerg, you know my feelings on Højbjerg. I love that dude more than life itself. He was sensational. But Tanganga, right back. Imagine what he could do if we played him in his normal position.
Yeah, very
exactly.
true. Very true.
But in terms of the performance, obviously it was a 2-0 win today, but how important is it for you that we try and our hardest to snatch our 5th place and get no qualifying for the Europa League? Or do you think it's not that important? Oh, well, I'm saying that Liverpool have just scored, so it's 1-1, so that doesn't... Yeah. But do you think it's important we try and our best to have a good end to the season?
We need to aim to get as high as possible, which is stating the goddamn obvious. All I care about, in all honesty, is making sure that we don't the filth don't finish above us. That's my number one aim.
How many more points do we need?
2.
2 more points.
2 more points, and that's it.
4 points ahead with 2 games left each.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess that's all we have to play for. But when you see performances like we had today, is it more maybe the passiveness of a Wolves side who didn't have much to play for? Or do you think, when you look at today's performance, we could have been playing like that earlier in the season?
Wolves were a shell of what we know them to be. And Traore tried everything he bloody well could, especially in that first half. And they just didn't have the people to finish them off, to get the shots in. We played well. I'm not going to lie. It was a good performance, but Wolves have got nothing to play for. We're trying to get somewhere. It was kind of a dead rubber. We should have had this game sewn up anyway. But like I said, it was a great performance. And I have to say, like the kid said about seeing Levy on the Villa game, I'm kind of like, do you remember, I don't know if they still do it back home because I'm not there. Do you remember Player Cam, where you used to be able to push the red button and just watch every player for 15 minutes?
Yeah.
I want Levy Cam on Wednesday.
Your Levy cab.
Yeah, just watch him all 90 minutes. That's what I'd like to watch.
Why is that? What would you get out of that?
Well, my blood pressure would go, my veins would be throbbing, and just to see the reactions he would get from people, hopefully shelling abuse at him, will be worth watching. And Sim, I also, it's the first time I've got to speak to you since the quiz night. And I have to say, during the Levy quiz, your comments about me were just hysterical, and I loved every single second of it.
Brian, we got something to tell you actually. Your We Are Tottenham TV shirt arrived at back in London yesterday.
That's all good. That's very good for me. Fantastic news. I'll pick it up in October when I'm there.
I'm not sure what happened, but it got returned to the sender.
Okay, so you know what? The suspense of the colour which you sent me goes on.
Do you want to know, or you want the suspense to carry on?
All right, you know what? I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna no. Let's keep the suspense. Let's keep the suspense going.
All right, cool. Sounds good. Brian, absolute pleasure as always, mate. Speak to you next time.
We'll speak to you again, and we'll just end as I'm ending every single stream I go on with my trademark song. Na 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 na. We will eat it out. We will eat it out. You know. Keep up the great work, guys. Love you to pieces.
See you later, Brian.
All right. See you, Brian. I think we can hear Grandpa now.
Yes, I think Grandpa's microphone is working now. Grandpa!
Hi, Grandpa. We finally got you back working. How are you doing?
It wasn't not working. I just came out and went back in again.
Okay, how's it?
Anyway.
He does it the old turn off and turn back on again. That's the old trick.
It wasn't. It was just to walk out of the room and walk back in again.
Your mic's not working.
It is now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bobby just double checking, I think.
Yeah. We've got somebody here that's a Wolves supporter.
Oh yeah,
really?
Who's that?
Nachum.
Oh, very nice. Wolves
Yeah.
fan. Interesting.
Anyway,
But what did you make of the game? It was a positive performance, but
I thought it was a good performance. I've got a couple of points to make, which I think is really important. I think the fact that he played more or less the same team, because it was a team performance, they knew where each other was. And I think the fact that although I don't totally agree with the team he picked, it was the same team, other than Ori, it was the same team as the last 3 matches. And I think that's a team performance, and I think that was quite clever, and that they were playing well. And it's very hard to pick up the man of the match because I've got 3 choices: Hobia, Bale, and Kane. And I would give it to Hobia. Really, I think he kept it really together. His passing was great. And of course, as I heard you mention during your broadcast, we're still way ahead on hitting the woodwork.
Yeah, I knew you would like that one. We're top of the league on that one. We're clear of West Ham, I think it was now.
Yeah.
At 23 times we've hit the woodwork, which is great stuff.
Another thing you might like to think about, instead of having the man of the match, you should have, or the man of the year, you should have the owner of the year.
Owner of the year, and who would win that?
The guy at Leicester.
Oh, 100%. 100%. You could see how much that trophy meant to him yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, he was going on. It was going on to the pitch. He was hugging the players. He was talking to the fans. He was a true supporter.
Yeah,
and you don't see that. You don't see that from Levy.
I tell you what, Grandpa, it made me very jealous watching that yesterday.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was lovely. Well, it was lovely to see, actually, and I think it's something to hold up as something. That's why I say let's have an owner of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we wouldn't win that. I'll tell you that, Grandpa. We would definitely not win that.
No, but it would be. He might try. He might want to be, and therefore he might do things. Anyway, it was a good game. It was great to see. It was great to see them playing as a team. I thought that was the thing I enjoyed most. And we could have won by 5. We could have got 5 goals, I think.
And now we're in 6th position now, above West Ham in the table. How important is it for you to have a positive end to the season going into next season? We grabbed that Europa League spot.
Well, I think it's really important, mainly to keep some of our good players, the few good ones, or to attract others. I think to be in Europe, it would be better than not. And I think we have a very good chance now. And with Liverpool at the moment losing.
It's 1-1 now. It's 1-1 now, yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Mo Salah with the equaliser.
And Everton playing later, aren't they?
They are. They're later today, I believe. Are they?
Yeah.
Is it today or tomorrow? Yeah, Sheffield United. They'll probably win that one. Yeah, they'll probably win that one.
Well, there's funny results. You can't guarantee anything anymore.
That's also true. It's also very true.
So,
but Everton can't go above us if they win today, I don't think.
No. They can't.
No, they have the same number. They'll have 59.
Yeah, but we'll have a much superior goal difference.
Yeah, there'll be 3 on 59.
Wow.
That'll be unbelievable. But look, I think it's important we get that. So it'll be a big fight to grab that last Europa League spot going into the final 2 games. So it's important we keep our standards and get these last 2 wins and just finish the season.
The last 2 games, we really got to get them. Yeah.
Just before you go, Grandpa, we haven't mentioned Dele Alli yet. What did you make out of his performance today?
I thought he played well. I thought I thought he was good. Yeah, I couldn't fault very many players really. I mean, I think they came up to a fairly high standard across the board. But I don't think he was as a man of the match or even a likely
candidate.
Yeah.
What did you think of Gary Neville giving the man of the match to Connor Cody of the Wolves, the centre back?
I thought we should buy him.
Probably not a bad shout, to be fair. Probably not a bad shout. But look, Grandpa, always a pleasure having you on, and we'll see you next time.
Sorry I wasn't with you yesterday.
No problem.
That's
at
all right. With the protest,
people were asking about you at the protest.
They were. They wondered where you were.
They wondered where you were.
You can tell them that your mother and my wife wouldn't let me come.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you should say that because my mother blamed it on your wife.
Look, we're getting a family tea and a family. That's great.
Okay. See you, Grandpa.
Keep going,
Grandpa.
Keep going. Yeah, bye.
Love that from Grandpa as always. Let's get Cody Mac Cody Mac Cody Mac Cody Mac. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, that feels good. It feels good to win a game that you're supposed to win, and we looked okay doing it, especially in the second half. You got to say, I'm not like defending Ryan Mason, but we've looked much better in the second half in general since he took over. So I don't know if that's a sign of him making more effective adjustments at halftime, but it's just nice that we've continued to push forward and look for that second goal in some of these games, as opposed to the nightmare of sitting on 1-goal leads that we've had to endure here for most of the season. But yeah, I'm you have to be happy when we win. You know, you have to. I know
However
there's some
hard it
people,
is.
the games are meaningless, blah blah blah. You know, you can't live like that. Don't live your life like that. You have to let yourself be a little bit happy sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
most
you
definitely.
know, Mason today kept it fairly unchanged. Only one change from the game against Leeds last week. And do you think, you know, maybe earlier in the season when Mourinho was in charge, when we had a performance like we did against Leeds, he would have ripped up the whole team and, you know, swapped loads of players out and not swap loads of players out and maybe not kept the consistency. But Mason, even after a bad performance like Leeds, he kept it fairly consistent, and maybe that's why we saw more of a team performance again today.
No goal.
I don't know. I think it's more to do with the quality of the opposition, to be honest. Let's not give too much credit where it's not due. Personally, I don't want to see Serge Aurier in a Spurs shirt ever again at this point after what he did last week and just generally, you know, the performances he's put in this season. You know, he pretty much had one good game that he lived off for most of the season. But Tanganga looked quite good today. I think the commentators actually confused Tanganga for Ndombele at one point. You know, he made a nice move there in the opposing third. But what's going on with Joe Rodon? Like, why can't he get a sniff here? You know, like I'm not understanding that. I certainly don't agree with Eric Dyer being given another chance after the nightmare performance at Leeds yesterday. But we had enough to win, and you know, you have to give a little bit of credit where credit is due for the management.
Cody, let's talk about Dele Alli because, you know, he put in first 45 minutes against Leeds was a very positive performance. Today, I thought it was even more positive. What did you make out of his performance? And is this what he needed, just a run of games?
Maybe we'll have to see. You know, we really don't know what we can expect from Dele Alli going forward. You know, you can see a little bit of the rust is starting to shake off a little bit. You know, he had some nice plays. I mean, he got robbed of both a goal and an assist in a span of about 2 seconds when, you know, we had that play where we hit the bar twice. You know, you could probably just clip that and say, look, this is our season in a nutshell. But yeah, he was quite good. He looked very bright. It was encouraging. I still don't know if I would keep him going into the summer. I don't know. It's Dele is an enigma. You know, is this just a flash in the pan and then we go into next year and he goes back to the lack of form that we've seen for the better part of the last 2.5 years? I don't know, but you know, he's a young guy. He's 24. If you can get the right manager in here to kind of coax him into doing what's necessary to unlock his talent, then Dele Alli, you know, he has that untapped potential that we've seen in the past, but I just don't know if he's going to ever fulfill it here at Spurs. But it's good to see him building on the performances and showing that the faith that's been put in him to be put on the pitches has been warranted in some respects.
All right, Cody. Absolute pleasure as always, my friend.
Yeah,
and
I do want to give one shout out though. The play that Sergio Reguilon made, I could watch that on loop over and over and over.
Yes.
Those are the types of plays that we as a squad have been missing all year. You know, those plays where, you know, it's highly unlikely that you're going to win the ball and it's, you know, it's trickling out of bounds. He showed fight, and that is emblematic of what's been missing from this squad. So that was the play of the game for me, absolutely. And I want to see more of that. So
3 games left
big
of
up
the season,
Sergio
though,
Reguilon.
Cody, eh?
Yeah.
All right, Cody, big up yourself. I'll speak to you next time. Glory.
Take care, guys. Glory.
Love that.
Love Cody, as always. Let's get Marcelo on. Marcelo hasn't been on a while, but we've won. We got 3 points. We're eating some samosas today. Marcelo, talk to me. You're on mute.
He's on mute.
It was a professional performance from Tottenham. Finally, you know, 36 game too late, but you know, at least we showed it up today, man. What can I say? The lads did the job, you know, and you know, listen, there's still Europa League. I'd rather get Europa. Like, I don't want to get Conference League. Please, please, Tottenham, just like finish above Arsenal. Just get Europa League, and somehow the season can somewhat be a little bit less painful. You know what I mean?
Marcelo, what's more important, finishing above Arsenal or missing out on Europa League, on Conference League?
Oh man, I'd rather finish above. I'd rather finish above Arsenal.
Yeah.
Honestly, no, no. Like, I mean, this is their worst squad ever. I mean, they are diabolical. I mean, first of all, let's just take a moment to just tell how shit Arsenal are. You know what I mean? Like, they are a diabolical team, and I'm so glad they're gonna miss out of Europe. You know, keep trusting the process. You guys are clowns. Thank you. You know, your highlight of the season was that stupid party video that you made in AFTV. You know, like, honestly, they are clown FC. Like, we are jokesters FC. Like, we are a big joke, but they are clowns. They run the whole circus, bro. So, you know, shout out to Arsenal for being.
They're going to be Arsenal are going to be the only team that entered the Super League without punishment.
Yeah.
They've been punished enough. They've been punished enough.
Oh man. But like, seriously, like, they are clowns. But on to Spurs. You know, it was a professional performance today. I think, you know, Mason has made some improvements. I think we were passing the ball better. I think movement without the ball was better. We were doing the fundamentals. You know, this is what I was asking all season. Just do the fundamentals. You know, and you know, Taganga right back. He looked very good. He looked very good. Which, you know, and I said it in the West Brom, you know, pre-match. I said it. He's our best right back. He's better than Doherty. He's better than Aurier. People laughed at me, but I said it. And you know what? We shouldn't have hampered his development. We should have played him. You know, like, it's time to just let these young boys play. You know what I mean? Like, forget about experience. This team is drowned out. Their lack of energy is dead. This team, these players that used to be here and then used to be good, right? Their energy is dead. They don't want to play for the badge anymore. Get the new crop. Get the new blood. Get some youngsters. Get some you know, like, players that want to play for the badge. You know what I mean? Like, Harry Kane didn't start out with Premier League experience.
Correct.
You know,
yeah.
he became Harry Kane because we allowed him to play and we allowed him to grow. Jan Vertonghen came in very young. He made a couple mistakes, but we allowed him to grow. You know what I mean? Like, stop. Like, I gotta go on a rant here. Stop talking about Ben Davies. Stop talking about Harry Wanks. Like, stop talking about Moon Boots. Like, stop talking about these guys. Enough is enough. They've had their time. Okay, maybe they'll show a good game here and there, but that's just the manager bounce. All right, stop getting fooled. Let the young players play. Let the young crop come in. Let them prove themselves. Right? Like, you know. For example, Kyle Walker, you know, he came in through Tottenham, you know what I mean? We gave him the chance to play, you know, we gave him the chance to grow. Like, it's time. Like, I always keep hearing, Marcelo, why do you care about playing some of these youngsters? Why do you care? And I'm like, because they're our only future. We're not going to sign a 50, you know, million pound player. We're not going to do that. Our only hope is that guys like Skip, Cess, you know, Lavinier, who's in, you know, in the academy. You know, you also got, you know, Dane Scarlett. You know, these guys are, you know, very important to our development, like, of our squad. Taganga, you know, he's part of that crop too. Rodon, you know what I mean? Like, we can't hamper their development any longer. It's time to give them a chance. You know, these players have had 7 seasons. If they've done, like, nothing, man. You know what I mean? Like, David said it best during the watch along. This squad has become a bench squad. Lucas Moura, you know, great guy. I respect him, right? But he used to be in the bench. Dyer used to be in the bench. You know what I mean? Like, Winks used to be most in the bench. Used to be rotating. You know, like, a lot of these players, you know, used to be just bench warmers for us. And they're playing. They're starting for us. Ben Davies started for us for 2 months. You know what I mean? Like, stop supporting these guys. They're diabolical. They don't love Spurs. Get the youngsters. Let's and you know what? They'll do the basics. We can have a season like this. We can have a good season next season. But we gotta give the youngsters a chance. We gotta keep going. We gotta keep fighting. Do the fundamentals. You know what I mean? Just do the fundamentals. Just do us proud, Tottenham. Just do us proud these last couple of games. You know what I mean?
Ultimately, Marcelo, Daniel Levy has asked Jose Mourinho and now Ryan Mason to do something with Pochettino's substitutes, hasn't he? That's exactly what you're saying, and I think you're spot on. With a few other players trying to mix in there with them, but ultimately it's basically the bench from Pochettino's team. That's basically what it is.
It is. These guys are bench warmers, man. They're not good enough for this squad. Like next season, I don't want to see Ben Davies ever play because we're going to have Sesson Young play. I don't care. I don't want to. If Ben Davies play, honestly, I will riot. Like, next season, it's got to be Reguilon and Cess. No, it's gotta be next season. It's gotta be a new right back, and it's gotta be Taganga. I'm sorry. No Aurier. Like I've been saying it. It's no Aurier, no Doherty. You know, I mean, the beginning of the season, I was telling you, Aurier, like you can't, like an old dog won't learn new tricks, man. Like he will be shit. You know,
But didn't
everybody
didn't we have Tanganga for a run early in the season, and then we all came to the conclusion that he just wasn't good enough for right back for a lot
No,
of games.
because he had a couple of bad games, but he had a couple of good games. He was inconsistent, right? But that's when you got to stick by the young player, right? Because I see personally for me, I saw potential there. Like I saw potential in Taganga being a good right back. You got to let him grow. You got to let him get the experience that he needs. He's just inexperienced. You got to let him learn from his mistakes. Like the thing is, because if you put Aurier, he's going to be doing the same fucking mistakes. He's going to be doing the same diabolical mistakes, but he's 28. He's not going to grow, and he's not going to get any better, and he's not going to play for the club. He doesn't care about the fucking club. His mind is in Paris, man. You know what I mean? Like, just get these young crop of players. Let's next season. Let's get some signings. We only a couple of top signings away from going back to top 4. I'm telling you, bro. Like we're so close. But we just gotta, like, this board just needs to, like, just pack a punch. Like I don't even want to get started with this board. This like I could stay here all day talking about this board. But enough is enough. Like you try to diabolical, horrendous Super League, try to kill our football, our club. Now you got to repay us. You know what I mean? You want to prove us that you want to stay at Tottenham, you got to start spending. Spend, bro. Like it's not that hard. You know what I mean? Like you get an offer that's good. You get 35 million for Sabitzer. Just fucking take it, Levy. Just take it. Like, don't try to negotiate for fucking peanuts. Don't try to negotiate for £2 less. Like just take the deal. Shut up. And get some good players. Let's have a good season next season, because I'm watching Leicester, right? A proper club being run, a leader that actually cares, and I'm fucking jealous of Leicester. 20 years ago, we used to be, 30 years ago, we used to be FA Cup record holders. We used to be a great club. We used to hold, records. We used to be known as a cup-winning club. Let's get that mentality again. Please stop defending Ben Davies. Please stop defending Harry Winks. Let's get some winning mentality again. Please.
Oh, what's happened to him?
He's been cut off.
He's frozen. Oh, come on. He was just
Ah.
getting good, that.
What a shame.
Oh, that is a big shame. Marcelo. Oh, Marcelo, he's had a mare. But look, he was spitting absolute facts there, Marcelo. And I stand by the majority of what he said there, that's for sure.
Brad Matthews with the super chat says, "Is there a trophy for hitting the woodwork? For hitting the woodwork league? I'll take anything."
Yeah, well, if you ask Grandpa, then maybe. If you ask Grandpa,
I'll
then
take
maybe.
a trophy. I'll take a trophy. Most woodwork.
Mate, don't get greedy now. You got the Audi Cup, you got the Peace Cup, and you got a Carabao Cup in between them. So don't get greedy now.
Okay, I shouldn't have said anything.
Let's get on Jack Konecki. Come on, mate. Jack, I'm loving the shirt. I'm loving the shirt. Come on, Pierre the Viking.
Pierre our Viking, absolutely. That was legendary from Marcelo. That's impossible to follow up. I can't nearly. That was
It's
legendary.
just a shame he got cut off.
Someone on the comment said Levy cut him off.
Levy cut him off, literally.
That really was. He somehow tapped into Marcelo's IP and had to cut him off because it was too powerful for him.
But by the way, Marcelo, if you are still watching, do reconnect and you can finish off what you were trying to say, because the world is listening. But Jack, talk to me about the game, and how do you think it went today?
Yeah, it was kind of surprising how spread the pitch was. Like we really did spread the pitch a lot. Our center backs were making almost 40-yard switches between each other. Gio had a lot of space to turn and look up. I mean, I've already made my mind up about a lot of the players this season and how they played and what I think my assessment is of them. But if you just look at just today, just at the performances players made today, I mean, Gio, I think, looked very different than what he usually has played recently, and I thought he was actually one of our best players. But I mean, just a professional performance, like Marcelo said, and really incredible possession, really incredible link up. Deli grew into the game more. I really hate seeing him in the shirt sometimes, but he really grew into the game and played well. And same with Gio. And I mean, it was also like it's lovely to see Højbjerg finish it off for 2-0. The guy who deserves it. No guy deserves it more than him to finish it off with 2-0.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. And we seem to show a lot of fight today and a lot of willingness to kind of get over the line in terms of Reguilon keeping that ball in play for that second goal, and other examples. I think Dele and Højbjerg and Lo Celso especially were putting a real shift in that central midfield. And obviously, do you feel like they are doing that to really grab that Europa League spot, or is it just trying to end the season well?
It's impossible to say because they've had, like I said, maybe on the last post-match reaction, we've had so many, like just countless opportunities to get something, tangible out of this season and really achieve something. And they've really failed at every marker every time. So it's really, I don't want to have faith that they somehow now have the motivation to achieve something. But credit is due. I mean, they played really well. Every single player, I think, played well. Especially a lot of players that we know can be really good, but have suffered recently and have really been out of form, like the likes of Reguilon, like you said. I mean, Reguilon, the issue is that he launches so far forward and goes so far attacking and gives so much an attacking end that when he fails defensively or when he's not maybe on it offensively going forward, he does, it's easy to pick on him. But when he is there, when he is making the right attacking moves, when he is on it, he is unbelievable. It's right. Like I said, a lot of players that are really capable of being quality showed that they can today, despite them not really doing so in the last couple of months.
So, Jack, miss out on Europa League or finish above Arsenal? What's more important to you?
That's what I took it as. Is I really don't want to get my hopes up continually about Europa League, or because we've just been let down so many times with the Champions League and with Europa League spots. And so really it's just another 3 points where we stay ahead of Arsenal, and it's lovely to just stay above the Scummers. And I think that's how I'm taking it every game. It's just another way to just stay above the Scummers and keep them as far away from us.
Exactly. Another year, another no St. Tottenham's Day, hopefully. So
yeah, you just got to stay above. You just got to push them down with your hand and just keep the children quiet.
To be honest, you don't even need to push them down with your hands because I think they do that all themselves pretty much. So
yeah, definitely the self-hatred is arising, hopefully. But like I said, Enoch out, Levy out, Arteta in.
Jack, just before you go, did you see the footage from the protest yesterday?
I did see the protest footage, and what I took from it was, hopefully I haven't heard too much about how it went today.
I'll tell you how it went today. It went very poorly today. There was about 50 people turned up and there was no demonstration at all, apparently.
Yeah, I had my hopes up for today. And so now knowing that, that's a little disappointing. At the end of the day, it's the protests. I think what's the problem is that protests have kind of, to some people, they lose meaning or value. And that's kind of a shame because no matter what you're protesting for, protests are your basic human right, and it's the best way for you to just voice whatever you're concerned about or whatever you think needs changing institutionally or for things like football as well. And it's to not take value in protests is basically just taking away one of your rights as a human. And it's sometimes kind of sad that we don't think that the power of protest can do enough because over the course of human history, protests do a lot, and it's a shame. But hopefully we can maybe show up for the NFL ones, maybe the ones that are a bit more focused around the money that Levy and Enoch are making. And I'm just going to keep my hopes up because at the end of the day, I can't criticize because I'm not there, and I want to criticize people who can physically make it because I cannot. But I do want to say to people that criticize the power of protests, I think it's just ridiculous because, like I said, protests for the course of human history have caused change and only improve society and only improve basically our livelihood.
All right, Jack, always a pleasure, mate, and we'll get to speak to you next time.
All right, thank you, guys.
Good to see you, mate.
Good to see you, man. All right, let's keep going. We got David Harris, the Irish Hotspur. How's it going, my friend?
Yes, David.
Hey lads, how are you keeping?
Yeah, very good, mate. All smiles now after that win. But was it Wolves just going through the motions today, or was it a particularly good performance from Spurs?
Look, to be honest with you, a good win, but I don't want to get too hyped up over it because this is what I like. What we've seen today should be the basis of every performance every week. You know what I mean? We shouldn't be seeing it when we're fighting for Europa League spot. We should have seen it last week against Leeds. It was probably our best performance since Man City, to be honest, when we bet Man City 2-0. But honestly, I'm not getting too gassed up because they shat all over me last week, and they just really let me down. And look, Wolves' season is over. They've no real target man in the box, Jimenez, so they've had to completely adapt to the way they play. So it's not the same Wolves team that we played earlier on in the season.
Yeah, no, completely.
Yeah.
In terms of kind of standout performers today, who are you most impressed with?
Look, I want to big up Japhet Tanganga. I thought he was absolutely brilliant at right back today. You know, he was strong. It was a masterstroke because the guy can defend one-on-one. He's very good defending on one-on-one, and it showed today, which means Gareth Bale doesn't have to get back. When you've Aurier there, he's so erratic, he jumps in. It's very easy to skin Aurier, and when you double up on him, it's double as easy. So Japhet Tanganga was a masterstroke playing him in there today. But the best thing was he's so good on the ball. Anytime he got the ball, he was composed. He got his first touch right. Was looking up, looking to play, and just played it easy. When you have Aurier there, he's so erratic. Yeah. You know, he's misplacing passes. He's bombing up the line. He's so erratic. Whereas Tanganga just made it look so effortless. He was absolutely brilliant today. But Højbjerg in the middle, outstanding today. I thought he was brilliant. You know, his goal, it's something you're taught when you're a kid. You know, always follow the shot line. Don't stand there ball watching. Follow the shot line. You'll get 5 goals a year doing it. And he got his goal today. Well deserved. And I want to big up Harry Kane today as well. A lot of us thought he was checked out. But, you know, he was on point. He was unleashing shots and he looked good. He looked good. And look, it could have been a bigger score, to be honest with you. We hit the woodwork 4 times today. So yeah. it could have been a lot of a bigger score.
Yeah.
And
completely.
David, what do you think Matt Doherty's going to be feeling right now? Left out the team yet again, even when Aurier is injured. Tanganga picked ahead of him. You know, with the season ending very soon, you know, looks like he's not going to get another chance this season to prove himself. What do you think he's going to be feeling? How do you think the club will be feeling about him right now?
Look, I'd say I would like to say he's feeling down, but he's probably not, Ben or Sim. He's on 60 to 80 grand a week.
Get that right, Dave.
He's on 60 80 grand a week. He couldn't give a shit. Let's be honest about the situation. He's still going to go on holiday in the summer. Think he's going to stick. Think he's going to come to Tottenham Hotspur away and up his fitness and improve his performances and grab a bag of balls and work on his game. No, he's not. He's going to go off to Spain or off to somewhere else on a nice holiday. You know, he's going to chill out. He doesn't give a shit. Honestly, he couldn't care less. He's still getting paid at the end of the day.
Is he going to go to the Euros?
No, because we're not there. We're not there.
Sorry, apologies.
I was literally going to ask that question, but I had it in my mind as a joke.
I'm not the suffer watching you go for the final. But no, honestly, look, Aurier or Doherty, look, I don't care. I'm going to the point where I'm being blunt with these players now. They let me down so many times. Doherty's a loser, and he has to go. It's that simple, along with Aurier and many others.
Talk to me, Dave, about the protest yesterday as a kind of, I don't want to say outsider, but outsider just because you weren't there kind of thing. Outsider looking at all the footage and stuff. What did you make out of the protest yesterday?
Look, my initial reaction, I was angry. But when I've had time to think about this, right? So, first of all, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who actually did turn up. First of all, because you turned up and you represented not only yourselves in the club, but the worldwide fan base. So I find it very hard to criticise the people that actually turned up. I've seen people making excuses because of the rain, the FA Cup final was on, you know what I mean? And so I want to big up everybody that did turn up in the rain and stuff. Look, it's raining. I don't begrudge a few people having a few beers to keep warm, to be honest with you. I'm Irish. We love a beer. But in terms of some of the chants, right? Daniel Levy chant, that's wrong. You never wish anybody to die, ever. For me, that's wrong. But I know a lot of people came away deflated from it, right? And they were saying it was just a piss up, this, that, and the other. But I'm looking at it differently. We have a hardcore following of 500 foot soldiers ready to march and protest. Now, the people turned up, but
David, are they 400, 500 people ready to protest, or are they 405 people just looking for a jolly up with their mates with no real plan in place?
No, yeah. See, this is what I was about to say next, Benji. Is for me, if there was organisation there, I think the reason the way it went the way it did is because everyone turned up expecting there to be an organiser or a leader. It didn't happen, so it kind of just descended into a farce. Right? You know, we're singing about songs about Sissoko and Ali who's done nothing but shit in our badge most of the season.
Yeah.
But I think the problem was yesterday there was no leader. If there was an organiser there that had it properly organised and there was someone there leading the way, everyone else would have followed suit. You know, because the organisation wasn't there, it just descended into that because no one knew what to do. Let's be honest. You know what I mean?
It was a strange one. It was
to lead it.
Yeah, it was a strange one when I was there because there were like 2 or 3 guys like on the top of the steps, like, and they were like kind of supposed to be the ringleaders or the leaders of the whole thing, and they starting a few chants at the beginning, ENIC out and Daniel Levy, get out of our club, and that kind of stuff. Nothing like the death chants and all that kind of stuff, which happened a bit later, but they were starting a few of the chants right at the beginning, and then after 10 minutes they just stopped for some reason. I don't know what happened.
They're not very good organisers, let's be honest. You know what I mean?
And then I started a few chants, and then I lost a bit of faith.
We get a big banner, and what we should do is march from Seven Sisters right the way through Tottenham to the stadium. I couldn't give a shit about people caring about getting a bus to go to work. I really couldn't care less. There's bigger issues at hand, and that's my club, Tottenham Hotspur. Right? So we need to march all the way from Seven Sisters right up, cause chaos along the High Street, as in block traffic, don't allow anything to move, and then get to the stadium. And when we're there, have someone with a big megaphone who already has the chants ready to go and get them out. Because what them people need to realise is they're there. Like, there's people like me, there's people like the lads over in America, Canada, you know, that wish we could be there because we genuinely want to be there to protest about what's happening at our club. The lack of players on the pitch to deliver success, to deliver trophies, the lack of a football side structure in place, the lack of proper recruitment, all these sort of issues that we want to be there and genuinely protest about it. But again, I find it very hard to blame them when it's not organised properly. But the thing is, the groundwork is there. The foot soldiers are there for someone to come in now, take over and organise it. I heard you guys talking about the NFL games. I want to say it's a magnificent idea. And I've had time. Let me tell you why. Because when the NFL rolls around, Levy and all are going to roll out the red carpet. They're going to be brown-nosing them all over London, right? What we need to do is mobilise. The best form of peaceful protest we can do is not allow the buses to go into the ground. Get the games called off. Do not let them happen. That way we've embarrassed them in front of their sugar daddies. And then ENIC will have to get rid of Levy because it's affecting the money. That way you've broken it in half, so that's 50% of the problem gone. And then you're dealing with a wounded animal, and then you go and take ENIC. But then all the concerts, and I know people are going to say this could be a bit extreme, just don't allow the concerts to go ahead. Just grab a load of people, form a ring around the stadium, and just say you're not getting in. I couldn't care to spend money on the concert. It's not a concert venue. You want a concert venue, go to the O2. We're Tottenham Hotspur. It's a football stadium first. So at the end of the day, it's tough shit. And then once you start affecting the NFL, the concerts, all the big money side coming in, ENIC will eventually get pissed off and they'll sell up. Another thing, I know people are saying that the fan representation on the board is a token gesture. I fully agree, right? But we need someone that we know that we can put in there so that they can actually tell us what's going on. So then because the best way to beat your enemy is being in there spying on them. You know, even though they're going to have no say, they can still leak things. In fact, just sending a silent assassin in there is better. It's the best thing for it. And that's what we need to do. What we need, look, this is bigger than all of us, but what we need now is someone that really that has the expertise in this sort of area that can really start getting this going, because we do have the numbers. You know, look, you guys have put it out there, and everyone has been telling you. I've been watching the comments. I've been listening to people. You know, they're all saying, we want it, we want it, we want it. Well, if you want it, get down there and do it. Those people that were down there drinking and singing Levy to Die, you know, you want to put things right, get down there and let's get a proper one going.
David, do you think that as a fan base, as the kind of people that have been talking about these protests, about ENIC out, do you think that we've underestimated the fan base of what, as a whole, the fan base is generally feeling as a whole? Do you think we've underestimated it? And do you think that there are quite a big section of the fan base that are ENICing? Because at the end of the day, you're only going to protest when you really feel enough is enough is enough. Like the Arsenal fans do right now, like the Man United fans do right now. You know, they're going out there in their complete numbers. And do you feel like maybe there's a majority of the Spurs fan base, maybe they're not ENICing, but they don't feel that it's completely, they're at their end's tail with enough is enough. So maybe if they did feel like that, they would be out there in their numbers right now.
I can see what you're saying, but do you know where I think the wheels fell off the track on it? So, you know, the protest was going ahead. People bar yourselves. Stop talking about why you wanted Enoch out, and it was just Enoch out. Enoch's involved this, Enoch that, Enoch this, right? And Joel, Daniel Levy this, that, and the other. And it kind of lost before the protest what the reasonings were. So for me, I think a lot of us need to start conveying our points on that better instead of just ranting and this and that. Like, because the people we're trying to reach are educated people. Like, look, there's some people that love all that, and then and they're probably the ones that were all down there yesterday. But the ones that we need now, you need to target. You need to reason with them. You need to enter into proper dialogue, proper conversation. Instead of just throwing the Enoch out there, we need to sit down and give proper, detailed reasons why. And I think that's where the wheels fell off, because once we got the protest, it was just Enoch out, and we weren't explaining why. I do think there's a large proportion of the fan base that genuinely do have a problem with Enoch and Levy. I genuinely do believe that, but it's just about tapping into that, and how do we get them down there? Drinking cans is not the answer, because they're just turning their nose up at that. We've already seen the reaction to that.
Yeah, completely agree. All right, Dave, big up yourself. And we'll speak to you next time, mate. And everyone tune in on Wednesday, probably around 4:30, 4:45 for the next pre-match pump up with David Harris. Another great show today, so big up yourself, mate.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. As soon as I came off, I had a big smile on my face. You know, when you just know it was a good show and you enjoyed it. The reaction was good. I thought it was a very good show. Look, we had a bit of a hiccup in the middle. But look, you know, it's like Tottenham, you go through adversity, but we come out better. So here at WeAreTottenham TV, we set the example, and that's what I say to people. Get over, please do keep coming in. Let's enjoy the two games before we all break up for the summer and come back again for next season. Let's all enjoy each other's company and get behind all the channels and the team. Come on, you Spurs. Good win today, but I'm still Enoch out.
Enoch out. Nice one, Dave. See you next time, mate.
See you, lads.
Super chat from Marcelo says, last thing I want to say, we used to be known as the cup winning club. We also were FA Cup record holders. 20 years later, we are jealous of Leicester.
Yeah, it's mad. And a new member, BTP channel. Welcome to Silver, my friend. Welcome to the We Are Tottenham family. And what I wanted to say to Marcelo before he got cut off as well is that I'm really impressed, because he knows his Tottenham history. He knew that exactly. He's been learning his history. So I'm very impressed with you, Marcelo. So big up yourself on that one. And let's bring on the next guest. I'm not sure about that shirt colour, but Ariane, welcome. How you doing, mate?
Doing good. How about you guys?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good, thanks. So what made you wake up in the morning and put on a red shirt today?
Okay, so funny story. Red shirt was unrelated, but I forgot to set my alarm for the game today, and the game was 6 a.m. for me. And middle of the night, for no apparent reason, I wake up at 5:30.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that works, right? I guess it was fate for me to see this game. So, you know, it works, I guess. And I'm pretty happy I woke up in time to see it. So, yeah, 2-0 win. Pretty happy with that. It was just nice. Like, we finally saw a performance where you didn't feel like, you know, you're lucky to get the 3 points. Mm-hmm. Like, how many Premier League games has it been since Man City? Because the last game where you truly thought, all right, yeah, good win, was the Man City 2-0 win. Ever since then, every time we won, you're like, yeah, a bit of luck here, a little bit of uncertainty here. But this time it was solid. Like, we genuinely, you watched that game, there's only one winning team. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time in a long while for me, which was just, it was so refreshing. And I don't want to read too much into it, because now, you know, you're playing against a side that has no striker and nothing to play for, very similar to us when Kane and Son were injured last season. So,
although we played them with no striker, you know, back in whenever it was, November or December, and we couldn't get over the line that game. So I think it was a big, a 1-0, I think it finished that one, wasn't it?
Which game?
No. We were 2-1 up, and then we lost 3-2 in the game you're talking about, I think.
No, I'm talking about early in the season when we were 1-0 up, and Ndombele scored in the first minute.
Yeah.
And then
Davis made the mistake to
exactly. So it was just a very different performance. But you know, in games gone by under Mourinho, you could have argued after the performance last week, he might have ripped up that whole team lineup and gone with like a completely changed team, put Lucas or Lamella in or something like that. But Mason kept it pretty much unchanged apart from Aurier. Do you think that consistency helped?
Well, Aurier was reportedly injured. I don't know how true that statement is, but if he was injured, then I mean, I think he's just kind of playing experience. He doesn't know what to do, so he just kind of puts the team out there and kind of hopes they know what to do. I feel obviously he's a coach and he probably he instructs them here and there, but I don't think he's so experienced that it was a tactical decision. I just think it's out of he doesn't want to take a major risk instead of Mourinho, who takes a calculated risk, thinking, "All right, I've been a coach, a successful coach for however many years now, and I think this is the best decision to make." I think it's just a decision that comes from inexperience more than anything.
Okay, but in terms of performance, with that 2-0 win, we're 6th in the table at the moment. How important is it for you to really finish the season going well and have that positive feeling going into next season and grab that last Europa League spot as well?
Look, I just don't want to play Conference League at any cost. You have no idea how badly I would hate. I would rather us not get into Europe than play Conference League. I feel like it's such a waste of time. It's going to be as meaningless of a trophy as the Audi Cup, and it's just going to get our players tired. It's so unbelievably pointless. I really want to just get this Europa League spot and get it over with because it's I just couldn't handle us being in there. that's the main thing.
Me neither. And 2 more points to finish above Arsenal as well. So you reckon 2 more points in the next 2 games will be fine?
Yeah, come on, it's Arsenal. Even if we don't get the points,
lads, it's Arsenal.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly, that's the main thing. But yeah, who are your standout players today?
First and foremost, Højbjerg. Incredible performance, and I'm just happy to say that I've always backed him because a lot of the fans turned on him when he had that form, and I'm just here thinking this guy's played every single minute of the league, and you can't blame him. And he finally showed that he fights for the badge today, even though it's his first season. We've had players that have been here for years that don't show that kind of fight ever. And he's here first year, and he looks like he's been here since he was a kid. The amount of passion that he puts into this club, and he fights for every second ball and everything. And that goal, he deserves it so much, and I'm so happy for him that he was able to tap that in, and that assist he gave to Kane with that pass, incredible pass. It just makes me so happy seeing him.
Yeah.
So, great performance from him. Harry Kane also looked sharp, even though he's been a bit on and off under Ryan Mason. He's been great this game. Hit the post 5 minutes in, kind of painful there, and he hit the post after that chance that Dele gave him. But then, at least he got that goal where just 40th minute from the pass from Højbjerg. So yeah,
all right.
He had a pretty good game too. So those are my 2 main players. Dele, I think, also had a good game. In comparison to his other games, definitely had a better game. You just look kind of more alive, kind of look like the Dele a little bit more from the Dele from before. I mean, the Dele from before would have a more finishing touch, but
what would you do with Dele, Ariane, moving forward?
See, it's complicated because on one hand, I do think there's a player in there. I've always thought there's a player in there. I've never doubted his talent. I don't think anyone has.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever been in doubt.
No one can get it out of him except for him. And unless his new girlfriend is going to get it out of him, I don't think anybody else can.
Well, to be honest, she's got his new girlfriend is Pep's daughter, so you never know.
So, maybe she's going to teach him a thing or two. Maybe that's why he had a good performance tonight. But if he can get it out of him, then sure. But honestly, I just think it's not worth it at this point. We've spent so much time and energy on it, and when Mourinho could get it out of him for that 1 month when he first came. Does anyone remember that? How incredible he was.
Yeah, he was unreal.
He was unreal, and it just if even Jose Mourinho can only get that for so little time, is anybody else really? Is Graham Potter really gonna get it? Are we gonna let's be real for a second? No. So it's worth cashing in on him. He's an English player. He's a young player. He has a bunch of records. You can definitely get a good fee for him. And you can reinvest that if we had proper owners, at least you could reinvest that into something more tangible, and we could see it on the pitch.
All right, Ariane, absolute pleasure as always, mate, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time, guys.
Come on, you Spurs.
See you, Ariane. Nice to see you, Ariane.
And I think we've got the last guest of the day, which is Bob. Bob Spur TV. Yes, Bob. How's it going, mate?
Bob.
I'm all right, guys. How are you? Nice to see you yesterday.
It was very good to see you yesterday. And first of all, I hope you're all doing well well and healthy, first of all. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it was just a long day, wasn't it, mate? It was. It's probably the longest I've spent walking around, stood up and shouting at the top of my voice since the operation. So that's all it was. It was just exhaustion, I think, just caught up with me. So a nice day's rest, and I'm feeling fine now. So
that's good.
That's all it was. That's all it was.
That's very good to hear. And we may as well start off with the protest yesterday.
Yeah.
I know you were feeling quite deflated after the protest. Do you want to talk to me a bit about why and what you thought of the protest?
Well, I think when initially got there, it was everything was in good spirits. Literally, the booze was flowing, but there was the intent of directing all chants towards Levy and ENIC and obviously about typical Tottenham songs. It's just when it went to the other side. I mean, the turnout was a bit disappointing at start. Obviously, that was the main thing, especially when we've had about 3 weeks, guys. 3 weeks we've been going on about it. Whichever stream you go on, 15th. So much so I forgot it was my dad's birthday yesterday. It was that's how much the concentration was on the protest. It's just towards the end when everyone got a bit pissed up and leering. It became a extravagant stag do. And
good way to
people
explain
just
it.
it was, wasn't it, mate? It was people just got pissed up. But like Dave says, bravo for everyone turning up. I'm just not sure the intentions were exactly there, and we did come across as a bit of a laughing stock. The amount of fans that were on the high road, so the amount of people who drove past thinking, right, okay, this is a protest. I mean, it says it all when there's I think there's about 20, 30 plus protesters left, and there was only 2 policemen left there. They're looking at each other going, shall we go? And the other one goes, yeah, let's go. And they went. They left the protest to it, and they just went because they were bored. So just very disappointing with that, especially, like I say, we were building up for 3 weeks, so we were really up for it, and it was just a massive letdown. But then leaving, you thought, right, there's a match day tomorrow. Let's hope there's bound to be a better turnout. 50. Yeah. In the nicest possible way, and I'm not going to get stressed about it, but I'll give up. There's no point of stressing about it, and whatever's going to be will be. So it's all put to one side. Unfortunately, I'll do my bit on streams. I'll come on air and say my piece, but is a singular voice amongst so many fans who are clearly ENIC in and Levy in. Why should I always remember?
I asked the question to Dave, but do you think that we kind of underestimated the views, the whole views of the fan base, and there are quite a big segment, maybe not Levy in and ENIC in, but maybe that they don't care enough to come out and actually do something.
Yeah, exactly, mate. I think we underestimate that. They're not too bothered. Me and Stel and Holly and JP and Sam went for a couple of drinks, or say a couple of drinks, a drink afterwards, just to drown our sorrows. I mean, and Stel looked at me and he goes, "You know what, Bob? You know what it comes down to? We've just underestimated that people actually care." Obviously, being in depth with speaking to fans on streams like yourselves, and especially you guys who are on so often, and whoever you speak to, it's very rarely we come across a Levy or a I'm not too bothered fan. But I think yesterday kind of showed they're not too bothered, are they? And maybe it's come down to not being educated enough, not knowing the history, because there were some younger folks out there yesterday. They probably don't realise how big going into the ESL, because that was the point where everyone should have realised how bad things can get. I just don't think there are some fans out there who A, probably aren't bothered, or B, don't understand, which is fine, mate.
I also think the lack of organisation played a big part. having two different protests on 2 different days wasn't one coherent message. A lot of people maybe got turned off by that. Like, what protest do I go to? I don't know. I'm not going to bother with anything, probably. Like, I think a lot of people thought, why am I going to go to this one if more people are going to go to the other one? But no one knows which one more people are going to turn up to. And I think the whole thing was a mess. And that's the truth of it.
But today just compounded it, didn't it, Sim? You know, you think being on a match day, there's no reason for
but I thought the people turned up yesterday. 300 odd turned up. I thought I don't think people will turn up because I thought they'll see the pictures of people protesting today and they'll see all that on social media go around. They think, well, I'm not going to come tomorrow now because is it going to be bigger than that? There's already been a protest. So what is there going to be another protest? It caused a lot of confusion, I think.
What about Wednesday though? What about Wednesday with the trust being behind Wednesday's protest? You think there's bound to be a bigger turnout? Would you reckon?
I hope so. We know at least there's going to be 10,000 fans there. Whether they demonstrate or whatnot, I don't know. But hopefully there'll be something going on Wednesday. I really hope so. There should be.
Yeah, just disheartening and just a bit unfortunate and sad. I was really gutted yesterday, and I'm not ashamed to admit there were a couple of tears shed as well when speaking to Brian and especially Will. You know, we had a little freeway chat in the evening, and we're all gutted, and Dave as well obviously was there as well, just absolutely gutted. But you wake up in the morning and you think, when you wake up, I mean, I went downstairs in the morning, had my missus there, child 1, child 2, child 3, child 4, 6 of us, and I thought, fucking hell, protest. But no, it was great. You're amongst family, you're waking up in the morning and everything just seems a bit better. But I think maybe our energy should be challenged elsewhere from now, in my opinion. I don't know, mate. Hopefully it'll all build up again, and hopefully Wednesday will help. But change is obviously needed, but obviously not by so many other people.
But in terms of the game today, what did you make of that performance?
Yeah, we've beaten a team who we should be beating. You know, we went through that stage when we won 5 games in a row. You know, people were getting hard up, and then we came up against a good team, i.e. Arsenal, and we didn't turn up. You know, the 2 good teams we've played since Mason's come in, Man City and Leeds, we've struggled big time, and we've beaten the teams who we should be beating. So without being really negative, you know, I'm trying to be as realistic. These teams, we beat a relegated team, a very poor team, 4-0 in Sheffield United, and we've beaten an average team 2-0. And for me, that kind of sits just where we are, and we struggle against the better team. So it's nothing out of the blue. And it is what it is. It is what it is.
Is it important for you going into next season? We get that Europa League spot, that last one, and try our best in the next 2 games to get those wins on the board and seal it.
Absolutely, 100%, mate. You know, especially in a season where inconsistency from all the teams, bar Man City, has been at the forefront. You know, even Man United have been losing games of late. So the least we should be expecting in a season where everyone's been pretty average, bar Man City, is European football. So of course, and Villa should be a good game. They had a really good match against Palace today, really exciting, but they look a bit questionable at the back. And then obviously Leicester, they'll still be in the hunt for that top 4 position when we play them one way or another, certainly 3rd. They're a good team. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say. They're a good team, and we know what happens when we come up against good teams.
Not good things. All right, Bob. Always good to speak to you, mate.
Just before we go, I think West Brom might have scored.
Oh, wow.
Huh? No, there's a corner. Just stay with us, Bob.
No goal.
They did?
It's on side.
It's a goal.
I've just seen a replay. It's on side.
What? It's a goal or
not? Have they confirmed it as goal, or is it just shot?
They haven't confirmed it yet.
Right, okay.
Anyway, Bob.
I think we're clutching at straws, though, aren't we, guys?
No, we are definitely clutching. That's for sure.
It wouldn't be Spurs if we weren't clutching at straws.
That's it. But legends, absolutely fantastic seeing you guys yesterday, and
And I just want to say, well done, and thank you to you. You know, coming such a long way for the protest. You know, even putting your health at bloody jeopardy, and you don't even get that many fans there.
No, I said to you, never mind. Driving 4 hours. I'd walk 4 days to be to protest for what I believe in my club, mate. So not a biggie whatsoever.
Big up yourself, Bob. Absolutely amazing stuff.
guys.
So
Nice
we'll see
one,
you
Bob.
next time,
Good to
mate.
see you, mate.
Yes, mate. Definitely 100%.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
All
Oh,
right.
it's got to be onside.
They haven't given it.
They didn't give it.
The guy was in front of the keeper.
Who was in front of the keeper?
One of West Brom's players, I don't know.
All right. Look, is there anyone else waiting?
No, that's it.
All right, so that is your post-match fan show. Tottenham 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. We got 2 games left of the season. Wednesday, the 19th of May, we play Villa at home, and then the last game of the season on Sunday, 4 o'clock kickoff against Leicester. We'll be back tomorrow morning for the morning after show, followed by player ratings, and then followed by the 5 takeaways. So we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Watch out, as the press conference will be uploaded today to the channel. Every word Ryan Mason has said after this 2-0 win against Wolverhampton. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.
Spurs.